The separation of talent and skill is one of the most confusing concepts for people that are trying to excel, who have dreams, and who want to do something great with their lives. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours of perfecting your craft. Our craft is unique. It becomes an outlet for our emotions, gives a voice to the voiceless, and brings the toughest issues to the forefront of our minds. We push boundaries and ask the important questions, all in the hopes of making our mark on society. This is where our mark begins. "29 schools,
one dream.
15 categories.
One goal.
Nearly 100 entries.
With one purpose.
We do all this in the hope of leaving our mark on the first annual NCME Awards.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the first annual Northern California Media Educators Awards Night. I'm Justin Conti from Whitney High School.
And I'm Alina Berrigan, also from Whitney High School. Justin and I will be your hosts for the first half of the award show.
The NCME organization was formed by teachers of media to increase cooperation and showcase student work. Tonight is about the young men and women in these seats, and we entered this competition to have our work judged by industry professionals and to view the best work in Northern California.
Tonight's show is being webcast live in real time by Access Sacramento and will be rebroadcast at a later date.
Tonight's awards showcase will screen 44 of the top submissions in their categories, and we will award each student for their outstanding work. The videos were judged by industry professionals such as KCRA3, several members of the Sacramento video industry professionals, and media experts in the community.
If your film is announced as a winner, please walk to the front of the stage to receive your award. After your winning film ends, you will be on camera with your award and certificate. All winners will then take a photo in our photo booth located out the door and across the hallway.
Now, before we start, let's play a little game. If you entered 2 or more categories, make some noise.
Now, did anyone enter 3 or more categories?
Wow, we've got some fierce competition in this theater tonight, Alina.
Well, we just want to thank everyone for entering, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Now let's get right to it. Our first of 15 categories to be awarded tonight is the human interest story. A human interest feature is about a person or an event and should pay special attention to the storytelling. The third place winners for human interest story are from Christian Brothers High School, Elmer Lazarde, Jack Graham, Jeremy Wackman, and Austin Greiner.
Stumbling upon a crisp dollar bill on the ground, picking it up, placing it in our pocket and walking away completely satisfied. In that moment, that small green piece of paper makes us happier than we were before we had it. The bill fills us with joy. But in reality, does it? Is the money the source of our happiness, or is it just another piece of paper in our pocket? With all this talk about money, we really wanted to figure out, does money actually make you happy? So we went to the CB community to find out what made them the happiest. Come on. What are things in life that make you happy?
I would have to say these amazing cookies from the cafeteria are amazing. And then soccer, it's a good sport.
Well, I have this dog named Stardust, and she really makes me a happier person.
Magic.
Magic.
Food.
I'm gonna say kittens, Taco Bell, and money.
Interestingly enough, out of all the CB students we interviewed, only one actually mentioned money as one of the things that brought joy in her life. everyone else mentioned things like friends and family, pets, and simple things like sleep, not money. But then again, most families at CB are not struggling with their family budget.
The reality is that some people have great jobs and they make thousands and thousands of these little dollar bills, and others, they simply don't make as much. But do they really have more happiness simply because they have more of these dollars in their pocket?
In order to answer this question, I traveled down to the Delta to sit down and interview two completely different individuals. Considering the fact that the average annual income for Californians is around $58,000, I chose to interview two people who were well above and also well below that line. On one side, you have Angela Tate, who manages money for political campaigns and earns an easy 6-digit annual salary. And on the other, you see Alejandro Tejeda, a farm worker whose paycheck is equivalent to the California minimum wage. I was curious to see their views on money and its influence on their happiness. And when questioned, they responded with this.
Money doesn't give you happiness. It gives you the freedom to make decisions that you can be happy by. Making good living allowed me to bring all of you back to the inauguration so we could see the president get sworn in. That was pretty cool. That was my job. That was the ability to, buy the tickets and bring everyone back and rent tuxes and get dresses. That's what money allowed us, but that wasn't what money wasn't made us happy. It was all of us being together on those days made us happy.
Now, that's the point of view of someone who makes a great deal of money. But what about someone who doesn't? Well, for me, the things that make me happy are knowing that my family is well and healthy and being able to be here with my friends. I do think that money contributes to a kind of happiness because it allows you to live a more tranquil life. It allows you to live in a home and, own a nice car. But in the end, I'm happy with what I do. I mean, I don't think I get paid enough, but this is all I know how to do, so I'm not complaining. So, in the end, with all the conversations that I had with people, I was able to come to this conclusion. Money does not buy you happiness, because everyone I spoke with, including those who made very little money, were genuinely happy people. Money does not buy you happiness, but I definitely think that having a little extra money in your pocket does make life a little easier, and I think we can all be happy about that. This has been Elmer Lizarde reporting for KBFT, Sacramento.
Our second place winners for Human Interest Story are from Whitney High School, Kylie Johnsrud and Vanessa Bazzuto.
A local See's candy shop in Auburn has been open for over 30 years, but you can only visit the store 7 weeks out of the year.
We've tried it, in the springtime, like at Easter and that, and it just, it doesn't do the same, so it's more work doing it at that time, but doing it at Christmas, it's really the primary time that we can really do it.
Each year, the Kiwanis Club of Auburn buys over 4,000 pounds of candy for the holiday season.
Last year we sold almost 8,000 pounds of candy, but usually around $20,000 to $25,000 is, or sometimes more, sometimes a little less. But that's how much we sort of plan on each year.
When they go to the candy store, the profits are going to the owner, when they buy from us, the profit goes to the community.
All of the proceeds Kiwanis Club of Auburn makes by selling candy goes to local charities and organizations in the area.
It's a fundraiser for our Kiwanis Club and all our community activities that we do. We give out, our focus is the youth and the children of the community. So we do reading in the classroom. We give out dictionaries to third graders in the elementary schools in the community.
Several customers know what the candy sales are for, and one buyer, Kim Bird, has been directly affected by the donations.
Then I know that the Kiwanis sponsors also one of the Boy Scout troops, and I know a couple of the Boy Scouts.
Just something to sweep up with them.
Gilbert Hemmer, chairman of the Kiwanis Club in Auburn, said there are many ways people can help.
One of the other things that we do is the C's for Soldiers program. And with that, Anyone can come in and purchase some candy, and we have a box in the front of the store that they can deposit it in.
22% of soldiers are out of the country, and C's for Soldiers help them get a little piece of home for the holidays.
Well, if we get them a little bit of a touch of home during the holidays, you know, because it's the only time that we send candy over is during the holidays, if it helps them or the ones that are in the hospital.
Reporting for WCTV 19 with photographer Vanessa Bizzuto, I'm Kylie Johnsrud.
Our next award category is News Event. A news story is timely, has a clear main topic, and should be covered thoroughly.
But before we get to that, we have to do the first place winners for our Human Interest Story category. And the award goes to... in Whitney High School, Frankie Wenson and Haley Martin.
Conservation is anything from driving less to recycling. But at the Sacramento Zoo, it means preserving the environment we live in.
Conservation is the name of the game at zoos. So in addition to housing animals that we show for visitors to come and look at, endangered species that they may not be able to see out in the wild or aren't traveling to those places, we really do a great job of supporting conservation partners around the world.
Part of the zoo's fundraising efforts for education and conservation awareness is a carousel. And with a contribution, donators' names can be proudly displayed on one of the animals.
Visitors love carousels, and it's a wooden carousel, and there are very few true wooden carousels on the planet. So believe it or not, people travel far and wide. We had visitors from France come just to see this carousel.
The conservation carousel is made up of 32 animals that are hand-painted to create truly unique pieces with educational and conservation messages to inspire visitors as they ride.
It has been an overwhelming positive response. People are loving that, and the fact that it's not some faraway cause that they haven't seen, that they're not involved with. It brings it home. They can bring their families and they'll ride the carousels, the animals that they have supported.
You can't typically say, oh, I have an animal at the zoo, but this gives people the opportunity to say that.
A lot of animals are endangered, and we need to get the young people to have an interest and that they'll want to save in other parts of the world.
Zoo officials say every day animals are on the brink of extinction, while people continuously cut down trees and hunt animals illegally.
You think you won't have an impact, but what if that one garbage bag that you threw away makes its way to the ocean? Little things like that. In the future, if you can come to the zoo and support the zoo, you're coming knowing that you're supporting organizations around the world. So any little thing or big thing that you do can make a difference in every single individual.
Reporting for WCTV 19 with photographer Haley Martin, I'm Frankie Wenson.
Now, for News Event, we have 4 awards in this category because of a tie for 3rd place. Our first 3rd place winner for the News Event category is... from Whitney High School, Gabriel Gebhardt and Christina Moisich.
Sunset Boulevard, an old family favorite, has expanded.
Franchisees have Rockland as an area. This, just based on traffic count, super busy right here. We're close to you guys at school, so we can help out.
November 19th was the grand opening of the Rockland Dutch Brothers location.
So I didn't work here on opening day, but I was the 3rd customer here. I've been a fan of Dutch for a while, and then finding that they were opening one here was just really cool.
Oh my gosh, have you seen the line? Yeah, I'm so excited. Look at this, it's like a mile long.
Ever since their first establishment in 1992, Dutch Brothers has opened over 200 locations.
They're so much easier to get to now. There's so many more locations, and it's great how they're expanding down from the Pacific Northwest.
The drive-thru serves a variety of drinks ranging from coffee and tea to smoothies.
I like the taste of the coffee. It's outstanding. I mean, it is a coffee shop.
Yeah, it's hand roasted. Like, we get our milk from our own dairy. Everything's made by hand in here. It's not, you don't press a button, it does it. It's all us, so that's why our quality is always super good and it's delicious every time.
Dutch Brothers Coffee is the country's largest privately held drive-through company.
It's 2 drive-throughs, so it's double everything. It's double production, double income, double profits.
Franchises are owned and operated by local residents.
I think the biggest thing is customer satisfaction, like customer service that we provide. because it's all about that. Like, I would so much rather sit here and talk to you about stuff like this, even in the window, than like sit there and just make the coffee and say, see ya.
Dutch Brothers has a unique approach to operating a business. They try to have an impact in their community.
We'll do Christmas basket in Auburn. So basically we gather all the people who are less fortunate, and we'll give them coffee, give them food and stuff.
Proceeds from their grand opening went to both Whitney and Rockland High School Sober Grad Nights.
Well, right now as a company, we're hoping to do like kind of Bay Area and down I-5.
Reporting for WCTV 19 with photographer Christina Moisich, I'm Gabby Gebhardt.
Social changes coming across America. A new controversy.
The other third place winner in the news event category is from Antelope High School, Alexander Bittner.
Every morning, hundreds of students rush to school to beat the late bell at 7:45 a.m. Whether walking, driving, or getting dropped off by parents, everyone has a certain route they take. For some student drivers, this may include crossing from Palmerston to Alberta Road. For these drivers, they may have already noticed the new no U-turn sign in front of the senior citizens' apartments. Years in the past, students would cross from Palmerston to Alberta, but instead of waiting in the line to turn left for the short time the light is green, students and parents would cross Alberta into the senior citizens' apartments and make a quick U-turn to turn right onto Alberta.
I don't make the U-turn because I don't mind waiting in line, because I'm normally on time, and risking to get a ticket is pointless to me, so I don't.
I use the U-turn because, like, it gets me to school faster, and I'm not trying to be late or whatever, because I don't need any more tardies.
But at the beginning of the year, the senior citizen apartments, Sierra Creek, put up their own sign to protect drivers from making this dangerous U-turn.
We put up the signs for safety for both the residents and any of the drivers, students, adults, parents alike.
But many student and parent drivers feel this change is unnecessary.
The parents hold up the green light and there's a ton of traffic and I need to get to school on time.
I'm trying to make it to school on time and not be late to class.
So it just makes going to school faster.
While this may seem as an inconvenience to the students, workers and seniors who live at the apartments say this will only help protect their safety.
It's not a legal U-turn. There's not sufficient room and space to perform a proper U-turn. Therefore, there are fender benders, residents that are elderly here on the property that are almost hit on a regular basis.
But being on private property, enforcing this sign has been difficult.
Occasionally, sheriffs do sit out here and will cite people who do the illegal U-turn, but other than that, we don't have that proper authority to enforce that sign.
We can enforce if we see a violation. We can cite the driver.
This has been Brooke Herrick signing up for Channel 5 Titan TV News.
Every morning.
And the second place winner in our news event category is from Antelope High School, Brooke Carrick.
The next age of technology is rapidly expanding all around campus. The new devices range from about 500 added Chromebooks to new tablets, as well as updated computers and software.
To replace the STAR test that we're doing Common Core testing. This year is a field test, but next year is going to be fully implemented for our juniors. And we have to use computer-generated devices, so we're going to be using Chromebooks at our school. Currently, our school will have around 480 Chromebooks, and the juniors will be doing the testing. To support that many Chromebooks, we have to upgrade our wireless. And so right now we have 20 access points at our school.
The advanced technology being brought in is part of a new era of learning where textbooks and documents can all be easily accessed on these devices and create a more simplistic way to learn.
Along with the school district, there is a new push to provide the schools with more technology. Our incoming superintendent, Mr. Ron Severson, has a huge vision of truly making our school district and Antelope High School relevant with 21st century technology for all of our teachers and students.
The district has allowed funding for added technologies on campus and allows this technology to be added into the daily curriculum.
In regards to who funds the technology, it really comes from various sources. One, as a school site, I've allocated a fund in our general site budget that purely goes towards technology. It's not a lot of money, but it allows us some replacements and to do some creative things. We also are about to receive a settlement from Microsoft from a lawsuit from a few years back. Again, not a lot of money, but helpful.
Students will be using these advanced devices as learning tools, and there will be restrictions to keep the devices strictly for learning. Some teachers on campus have already started to infuse this technology into the class curriculum.
I use technology in the classroom for a couple things. We use the tablets, we use the Chromebooks, mostly to do things like check grades, but also to watch lectures they may have missed, and also to do things like Quizlet. I think they're really nice to have the handheld device versus going to computer labs. It saves time, it's more ownership of the device in front of you, and there's a lot of ways you can supplement your teaching with technology as long as that is useful and in their hands. And you can find things online. If someone's not understanding something, I can have to watch it again. But a lot of times we use it for like review and Quizlet and anything where I feel like it's going to benefit the student learning.
Next year will be just the start of this new era of technology and learning. Signing off for your Channel 5 Titan TV News, this has been Chris Howell. The next age.
The first place winner for Best News Event Story is from Antelope High School, Christopher Howell and Cole Langley.
The next age of technology is rapidly expanding all around campus. The new devices range from about 500 added Chromebooks to new tablets, as well as updated computers and software.
To replace the STAR test that we're doing Common Core testing. This year is a field test, but next year is going to be fully implemented for our juniors. And we have to use computer-generated devices, so we're going to be using Chromebooks at our school. Currently, our school will have around 480 Chromebooks, and the juniors will be doing the testing. To support that many Chromebooks, we have to upgrade our wireless. And so right now we have 20 access points at our school.
The advanced technology being brought in is part of a new era of learning where textbooks and documents can all be easily accessed on these devices and create a more simplistic way to learn.
Along with the school district, there is a new push to provide schools with technology. Our independent superintendent, Mr. Ron.
Our next category is sports event or highlight package. Sports are a big part of high school life, and these stories capture a sporting event from start to finish. They are balanced with both the winning and losing teams and cover an event thoroughly.
There are 2 awards in this category. The second place winner is from Franklin High School, Brianna Leon and Jessica Aguilar.
And the first place winner for the sports event highlight package goes to Matt Judy and Justin Chandler and Jared Lombardo from Whitney High School.
The 3-2 St. Mary's Rams traveled to Loomis last Friday to take on the 3-2 Delaware Golden Eagles in front of over 5,000 people for homecoming. The last time these two teams met was last year's playoffs, where Delaware came out on top 21-10. The Rams were looking for a different outcome this year as Brian Pasquale picks up a couple blocks early and goes 47 yards down the sideline, down to the 1-yard line. They would score on the very next play, putting them up early 7-0. Delaware would respond immediately as quarterback Michael Moore dumps it off to Dylan Cainrath, who does the rest, going 38 yards, getting to the St. Mary's 32-yard line. They would later score, tying it up at 7-7. But early in the second quarter, Ram quarterback Caleb Parrish connects with Jalen Ratliff for 31 yards. Parrish would cap that drive on a 6-yard scramble as St. Mary's extends their lead back to 7. Just 2 minutes later, the St. Mary's defense would appear to bottle up Dylan Cainrath, but somehow Cainrath gets free breaking tackles as he goes off to the races for 61 yards, and the students there loving it as the game would go into halftime locked in a 14-14 battle. Coming out of half, the Golden Eagles would look to take their first lead of the game as Mason Humes lines up from 29 yards and he puts it through with plenty to spare, but the defense, they would be the story of the second half. The Delaware defense would cause an interception, force a fumble, and come up with a couple of huge fourth down stops. Here's what Delaware head coach Casey Taylor had to say about the defense in the second half.
I think tonight paid off. You know, they're a very good team, very explosive. We had a good game plan coming in, and I think our guys really did a good job executing it.
Taylor loving the defense, but the offense would come up huge with less than 2 minutes remaining. Cainrath delivers the knockout blow, going 57 yards, putting the game out of reach as the Eagles defeat St. Mary's for the second straight year, beating the Rams 24-14 on their home turf, sending the homecoming crowd home happy.
Well, I think a lot of credit goes to Delarore's defense. You know, Delaware was playing good defense and taking away some of the things that we wanted to do. So credit to Delaware. You know, they did a nice job.
Well, you know, we're excited. You know, we played the best teams around, and we feel these last 2 weeks have prepared us for our chance in the SFL. Like I said, next week everybody's 0-0, so it doesn't really mean much unless we take advantage of the experiences. So we got to focus in now on Wood Creek and, you know, try to be 1-0 in the SFL.
Reporting for WCTV 19 with photographers Justin Chandler and Jared Lombardo, I'm Matthew Judy.
Our next category is Sports Human Interest Story. These stories focus on a sports-related person or event, captures drama, and should pay close attention to storytelling through natural sounds and visuals.
Our third place winners are from Whitney High School, Justin Chandler and Cole Aidnick.
Next year, senior David Parker will be attending the University of California, Irvine on a partial volleyball scholarship.
I played for 4 years now in the program, so getting from being kind of like not on the radar to now being one of the top, it's a good feeling.
For context, Parker going to Irvine is equivalent to Jake Rodriguez going to Oregon or Jalen Cope Fitzpatrick going to USC. UC Irvine is constantly ranked in the top 5 in the nation.
Irvine's won 2 national championships now. They've just built a strong program. Their former coach, John Speraw, is now the USA national coach, and he built a strong culture of volleyball, and the players buy into academics as well as athletics.
Since full-ride scholarships do not exist for men's volleyball players, and there are very few professional opportunities, most athletes do not play after high school.
The love for the game, I guess, would be the #1 reason to continue after high school. Most players will get burnt out or they keep it as a hobby.
Although Parker's season kicks off next Friday right here against Division I section champions Granite Bay, he says it was his club team that got Irvine's attention.
To pursue the next level, I would say playing club on top of high school would be the best thing for you.
Parker, number 11, plays outside hitter and is often seen slamming the ball on the opponent's side of the court. But that would change if he hopes to further his career.
He'll probably transition to a different position, which would be from outside hitter, attacker, to a defensive position as a defensive specialist or a libero.
It's a passion that I see myself in the future pursuing, and from college to possibly Olympic.
Reporting for WCTV 19, I'm Justin Chandler.
Our second place winners for Human Interest Sports Story are From Whitney High School, Katie Palin and Amanda Carlson.
Heidi started running when she was in probably kindergarten. We would go on family runs, and she was like the Energizer Bunny. She'd be ahead of all of us and just running and laughing and never tired out.
Up until her senior year, Heidi Greenwood was running at the top of her high school league. But in March 2013, all of that seemed to change.
She had been #1 on the team, was excited about her senior year. She was at league finals, and she wasn't even in the top 10 of Rockland runners because she couldn't breathe and her legs were heavy.
Shortly after, Heidi threw a blood clot from her upper leg to her lungs, which took her life on March 22nd.
It was really hard at first, but I know that a lot of us feel like Heidi's in heaven, and we're all super excited.
And that's what Heidi's mom says she would want. She wouldn't want people to grieve her passing. She would want them to celebrate her life. And what better way to do that than?
I thought it was going to be really sad, you know, when I woke up this morning. I was like, oh, like, I don't know, are you supposed to act happy for one of these things, or are you kind of supposed to, like, be depressed? I don't know how to act. And then when I got here, it was just so fun.
Song as we wrap up this last run.
So we decided if 100 people came and loved Heidi, we would be happy with that, and we'd be good.
And as you can see behind me, there's no shortage of runners here today. As of right now, 15 minutes before the race, already 800 people have signed up to remember Heidi and chase the sun.
I think it shows the effect that Heidi had, that how many people loved her and that she loved. And I think the number of entries is huge to show how many people love Heidi and love the Greenwoods.
Heidi was an inspirational runner, but more than that, she was a daughter, a sister, a friend, and a life changer.
Well, you never want to bury your child. It's not the way that we think life goes. But Heidi's passing has made me a better person. But I have chosen personally to live my life so that when I die and I get to go to heaven, I get to be with Heidi again. And I try to make her happy and live in her honor every day so that she's looking down and saying, "You're doing a good job, Mom. You're doing a good job."
Reporting for WCTV 19 with photographer Katie Palin, I'm Amanda Carlson.
And our first place winners in the human interest sports story category are from Whitney High School, Haley Martin and Frankie Wenson.
As a child, senior Morgan McEwen was diagnosed with ADHD and turned to sports as a way to channel her energy.
I've played softball since I was 8 years old. It teaches you more how to interact with people and meet new people.
At 16 years old, Morgan noticed a small cyst on her wrist, making motions like this difficult for her health. But one day, she realized these symptoms could actually be life-threatening.
We would go on golf dates, sort of, and we were playing a hole, and she was complaining about her wrist hurting and how she couldn't move it.
One doctor took me to go get an MRI. And that's when they noticed something there, and it turned out to be a tumor that they weren't sure really what type of thing it was.
Every year, there are approximately 175,000 children diagnosed with cancer in the United States.
When they said they were sending it to a lab to check for cancer, I was just thinking I'm 16, how does a kid get cancer?
You know, if you're an adult, you can take time off work and you can be at home and you can rest, or you can go to work part-time. It's very hard to do that at school and still be the teen you want to be.
Fortunately for McEwen, she was not a part of these statistics, but wanted to do something to change the odds for those who aren't so lucky.
She donates her hair. Recently I just shaved her head for her again. She didn't care what other people thought about her. She didn't care if people were going to make fun of her. She just cared about helping others.
Through pediatric cancer organization St. Baldrick's, McEwen supports those fighting childhood cancer by shaving her head and raising funds for research.
I knew that I wanted to do something to help and something to just kind of let people know that I was standing by them. And my first time I raised $1,117, And this time I added to that, so I'm at $1,700.
St. Baldrick's motto is existing to change reality, something McEwen lives by each day.
People don't really know what they have until it's, not until it's gone, just until it's threatened. Because when you have cancer, you can't go to school, you can't always see your friends, you lose a lot of relationships, and you have that thought in the back of your mind, like, am I gonna die tomorrow? So I've just learned to, like, how important it is to make good decisions.
Reporting for WCTV 19 with photographer Frankie Winson, I'm Haley Martin.
This next category is a specialized part of broadcast journalism. The talent reel is designed to be a highlight tape of on-air skills. Examples include anchoring, live reporting, and interviewing.
These students were asked to edit together their best talent moments into a reel 3 minutes or less. And our third place winner for the talent reel contest is from Center High School, Elijah Rivera.
Salutations, Center High School. Salutations, Center High School. Hello, Center High School. I'm Elijah, and welcome to Cougar Television. Later in the show, we have a preview for an upcoming show, but first, here's the bulletin for Wednesday, September 4th.
Hello, Center High School. I'm Elijah, and welcome to Cougar Television. Later in the show, we have a couple of animations to show you, but first, here's the bulletin for Monday, March 24th, 2014.
And that's time for today's feature created by the Advanced Computer Graphics class.
That's it for today. If you have some news or information you'd like on CTV, please drop by room 305 and tell us.
If you have some news or information you'd like on CTV, please drop by room 305 and tell us. I'm Elijah, and thanks for watching CTV. If you have some news or information you'd like on CTV, please drop by room 305 and tell us. I'm Elijah, and thanks for watching CTV.
We have a tie for second place in our talent reel category. So our first second place winner is from Whitney High School, Matthew Judy.
Hello and welcome to Wildcat Stadium as we get set for another Capital Athletic League battle between the Rio Americano Raiders and the Whitney Wildcats here at Whitney's homecoming night. As always, alongside Justin Chandler, I'm Matt Judy. Now, the last time these two teams met was last year, and Rio Americano had some struggles in that game.
Yeah, things didn't go well for the Raiders as the Wildcats cruised.
Now, the Raiders will have a tough task stopping the Wildcats tonight, as the Wildcats' offense has gotten continuously better each game this year.
Coach, thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Now, let's talk about your first game against Mira Loma. Your offense was rolling. You guys ended up winning 55-7. How important was it? Now, next Whitney hosted Rio Americano, and the offense was going again. You guys controlled that game from start to finish. You ended up winning 56-28. But the big thing... Now, let's talk about the crowd. Like Justin was saying, we've had an opportunity to see them a few times, and the students make it very tough to play, and they can change the momentum just like that. They're behind the team the entire way. So how are you guys preparing for the tough environment, and what do you have to do specifically to come out with a win? Let's take a look at your first game. It was a non-league victory against Vintage. Now, Drew Romo threw for 171 yards and 3 touchdowns, and your offense ran for 178 yards. What were you guys doing to keep it so balanced? Hello, sports fans. I'm Matt Judy, and this is your Full Court Press. Up first, we start with a sports story about concussions. Every year, about 300,000 concussions occur annually in high school sports. Photographer Jared Lombardo and I show you how one athlete deals with multiple head injuries on the basketball court. Here's our story. Sophomore Tony Roberts returned to the court on February 5th against Antelope. He played for the first time in over a month. He also played in the senior night game against Mira Loma. Now we'll get you caught up on some varsity winter sports scores from last Wednesday. Hello, sports fans. I'm Matt Judy, and this is your Full Court Press. Up first, we start with a sports story about the softball team's new head coach. former softball coach April Steele had an overall record of 133-76 since he started the program in 2006. Reporter Kyle Dowd and photographer Josh Penny explained how this year's team was thrown a curveball. Here's their story. The softball team's next home game is against Ponderosa on March 11th at 4 p.m. Up next, photographer Christian Condos and I are here with our game of the week. Here are the highlights from last Friday night's volleyball game against Granite Bay. That was your Full Court Press. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Now back to you guys in the studio.
The other second-place winner in the talent reel category is from Center High School, student Gabriel Romo.
Hello there. My name is Gabe Romo, and you're about to see several clips of me anchoring for my school's television network, along with several of my out-on-the-field clips. Each clip is arranged in a self-constructed version of our show. I hope you enjoy. Hello, Center High School. I'm Gabe Romo, and welcome to Cougar Television. Here is the bulletin for Friday, March 21st, 2014. Cougars, reserve your 2014 Epic Yearbook before they are all sold out. Pay $75 at the ASB office or online at yearbookordercenter.com. Use code 7444. There are only a limited amount of yearbooks available, and they are selling out fast. Don't be left out. Now it's time for today's feature.
Why do you take this class? Because the class is fun, creative, and laid back.
Just a minute ago I saw you guys racing these little guys right here. What was the purpose of that exact?
Well, this silly little car actually does a lot of different things.
This is what the rally's about, just coming together, spirit, just feeling like you're a part of something.
It's a challenging game where you play as a minion from the Despicable Me franchise to defeat evil villains and collect bananas. This app helps you take the founding father of social networking sites on the go. If you don't like to text out how you're feeling, you most likely have this app. Send a picture to let the people know how you feel.
I'm Gabe Romo, reporting for CTV. See you next time, Cougars.
That's it for today. If you have some news or information you would like on CTV, please drop by room 305 and tell us. I'm Gabe Romo. 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 And thanks for watching CTV.
The winner and first place in our talent reel category is from Whitney High School, Frankie Winson.
Here is Chris Rivas, sports anchor for KCRA3 TV here in Sacramento. So Chris, how do you guys decide which game to pick for Game of the Week?
I think you guys help us pick it out. We put it on our website at kcra.com, and then you, the student body, vote. This was the school that in the game that drew the most votes for the week, so that's how it became the Game of the Week.
How do you think of the big crowd out here that came tonight?
This is fantastic. I mean, you guys have been such wonderful hosts. There's more than, 6,500 fans here tonight. This is what high school football is all about. It's our pleasure to be here tonight. We're a part of this community, too, and we'd love to tell stories just like this.
Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us, Chris. Like much from the outside. But on the inside of this 1,800 square foot home, Muscle Mixes Music has created hundreds of high-quality fitness CDs and markets them to industries worldwide. We're going to use backup quarterback number 12, Travis Garabedian, even though Drew did have 3 touchdowns in the first half. Since they are so far in the lead, they're going to go in and give Travis a try tonight. After quitting pro boxing, Dennis decided to join the National Guard. Then shortly after, fell in with the wrong crowd and ended up getting shot in the head. So now every time he goes in to throw a punch, this is all he sees, compared to what we see every day. So homecoming's next week, and Rio Americano's coming to the Wildcat Stadium. So what do you guys plan to do to prepare for them to come next week?
We just need to keep, working on blocking, tackling, lining up. We still got a ways to go where we can compete for the league title. So hopefully we get better next week. We got to avoid the distractions of homecoming, powder puff games and floats, and sometimes as a coach, got to make sure your kids are focused.
And next week is homecoming. We'll tell you what to wear on the dress-up days and when you can get your tickets. As of July 2013, over 5,000 species of animals are extinct. Photographer Haley Martin and I toured a local organization that helps support the preservation of wildlife. Here's our story. Carousel is made up of 32 animals that are hand-painted to create truly unique pieces with educational and conservation messages to inspire visitors as they ride. Attention Powder Puff cheerleaders. Your cheer practice is today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Freshmen, sophomores, and juniors will practice in the small gym, and seniors will practice in the dance room. Your attendance is mandatory, as this is the only time to practice for next Tuesday's Powder Puff game. Notable games in the area tonight. They are Pleasant Grove at Nevada Union, Oak Ridge at Franklin, and last year's Capital Athletic League champions, Antelope, go on the road to face Rio Linda. And tomorrow, Del Campo, who will be in Whitney's Athletic League next year, travels to take on Elk Grove in a Saturday showdown. Guys, back to you. Whitney High School has a zero-tolerance bully policy. If you or someone you know is being bullied, please contact an administrator or counselor in the front office. If you would like to watch any of the stories featured on today's show, please visit our website at WCTV19.com.
And tune in tomorrow when we introduce you to a marathon runner.
That's all we have for now, where the news is unleashed every day.
Our next category is documentary film. The documentary gives the filmmaker a chance to raise awareness about social issues and allows them to explore non-fictional storytelling.
Our third place winners in the documentary category are from Del Oro High School, Emily Claire Brock and Avery Peck.
I'm not perfect. It was my impression that life wasn't either. I wondered, at the end of it all, what really matters. When I look back on my life, what will I remember? I decided this time I wouldn't find my answer from a magazine.
Only 103 Chinese were allowed to come to this country. So it's very, very difficult.
That I did live through the Great Depression.
I saw so many instances where people ended up poor.
A lot of my friends, although they were older than I was, they were going in the Navy, the Army, the Air Force. And it was a rough period.
Sometimes you can take 3 steps forward and you find yourself taking 4 steps backwards. But you never give up. You never give in. You never throw your hands up in the air. There's hope for everybody.
Instead of getting worse as you get older, it should get better. And in my case, this is absolutely true.
We lived in a Chicago bungalow, probably 1,000 square feet. I don't think it was bigger than that.
I grew up in sort of a upper middle class situation. My father was a Lutheran minister.
In this Chicago bungalow, there were 10 of us living. There was my grandmother, my grandfather, my dad, my mother, 3 boys, my Uncle Tom, my Aunt Nancy, and their daughter, Margaret.
We didn't have all the fancy new conveniences. We had a telephone, only one old-fashioned telephone, and electric power was limited.
I came to this country at the age of 19. Then I went to the U.S. Embassy by myself with broken English and apply a visa to come to the United States to visit my grandfather.
I could take $15 a week and go dancing with my girlfriend, which became my wife. We could go to the show. Wednesday was show night. That was our dating night. Wednesday was show night. Friday was roller skating or just hang out. Saturday was dancing. Sunday was show. And the rest of the time I couldn't see her. But that was our life back then.
I worked with at-risk students in a high school, and it was so extremely rewarding for me, extremely.
Two of the best defining moments that I can really feel good about and remember is the birth of my two daughters. We had two girls, and it couldn't have made Daddy any prouder. And to this day, I am very proud of both of my daughters, what they've accomplished and what they've done, and they're happy.
I was a class clown, and nothing gave me more pleasure but got me in more trouble than if I could get the class laughing at me, and which I did often, and I got in a lot of trouble because of it. So in the 6th grade, a teacher had a meeting with my mother and said, we'd like to send John to a vocational school, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me in my life.
Whatever you do, get a good education and get into a career that you really enjoy, something that you really enjoy to do.
And it's sometimes very difficult for some students, but there's always something out there for everybody. Always try.
Just be true to yourself. Don't be a phony.
Find a beautiful girl, marry, start a new family. That's basically what life is all about. Enjoy life.
In the documentary category, our second place award goes to from Franklin High School, Jordan O'Neill, Samantha Mike, and Aaliyah Kelly.
Of opportunities and changes. However, many of the issues from last year have rolled over into this year. One of these issues is public health. There is a large debate nowadays about whether or not Congress should enforce child vaccinations and whether or not there should be more research and more tools and opportunities for vaccinations.
The purpose of vaccines is to introduce a body to proteins that are present on infectious bacteria and viruses, so that the body builds up some antibodies, which are weapons against these infections. And so before the body actually sees the real organism, it's going to know what it looks like and have the weapons at its disposal. So the vaccines help to teach the body to fight the infections before they happen.
So if vaccines are vital to one's health, then you would assume that more people would be vaccinated. However, 3 in 1,000 people go around unvaccinated. This might not seem like an issue, but these people are located geographically, and this might actually cause a problem to the public.
There's mumps and chicken pox that occurs because in recent years, I think our generational memory is very poor. We forget that not so long ago there were people in iron lungs and people having very debilitating diseases where they die or become blind or disabled because of these diseases. So I think it's very important that the kids get the vaccine, and if not, there can be epidemics. And even now, if we don't have vaccines for certain types of flus, we can see lots and lots of people affected. There's always risks to doing different kind of medical procedures, and I think you have to weigh the balance between the risk to a particular child and the benefits. For the vast majority of us, it really is to our benefit. For a certain few, people who are allergic to certain components of the vaccine, it's not ideal. Or if they have very immunocompromised systems which can't fight against even just proteins, then that can be a problem. But I think in all, the doctors do take a look at each individual patient and see whether they're appropriate for a vaccine. One aspect of vaccination, which some people don't realize, is that we have a herd effect. In other words, we all live like a big herd of animals, and if most of us are vaccinated, we can protect those few who cannot be vaccinated because of their allergies. So unless we have that herd mostly vaccinated, we can't protect the really vulnerable people. So you're protecting yourself as well as others.
There are thousands of flu viruses, thousands of strains of flu viruses, so every year there's a different flu virus that is the prevalent one, the one that they believe is going to be the risk for that year, and that's the flu vaccine for that year.
But what can we say about the diseases that we don't have vaccines for?
We have these new diseases like SARS and avian flu and swine flu, and why don't we have drugs? We need to have drugs that treat these things like right away. You know, we have this expectation. And I think that's fine, that's good, but then you look at a disease like malaria and it's like, well, God, we've had this for millennia. We've known how to treat it really well for at least a few hundred years. I mean, we discovered the first drug that works against malaria in the 1600s.
How can we allow free will and still benefit the country with public health? Education about vaccines and about these deadly diseases that could actually cause large epidemics if we don't have vaccines.
I think Congress putting lots of energy and support into the CDC's efforts to educate everyone is really important. I think our children are the ones who need to learn how important it is, and some of our older folks don't remember how bad it was. So I think getting the education out there is very important.
Making decisions like these can be very difficult. That is why we did our own research in order to help enhance our point of view about vaccinations and what Congress should do about them.
Some diseases such as smallpox killed off millions of people over thousands of years, since 10,000 BC. You can see some of these diseases in the mummies from Egypt. I think that if we had that memory, we would know how important these vaccines are and how many people had to suffer through the centuries before we came up for a cure.
So we leave it to Congress to fix 2014. This issue of public health can be transformed and brought into a new way that can benefit the public.
The first place documentary film award goes to from Bear River High School, Justin Reinpa.
Today, we're at Najjar Vineyards, and I felt it was very appropriate to come here to talk about the Porsche and my ability to still drive the car after my amputation. Fine wine is amazing. It tastes great, it feels good, makes you feel great. Behind me is a fine automobile, Porsche 911 Turbo. The Porsche has a history, and it's renowned worldwide. It's probably the most popular sports car in the world, and this is mine. car's capable of doing 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. And it will do over 190 miles an hour. When we were making this video, we took it out on a country road, and it was so satisfying, so enjoyable. We'd set up the chutes, get behind the wheel, and just become one with the car. I don't even think about the fact that I don't have a right leg. It doesn't even enter my mind. Most of the time, I don't even know I'm missing a leg. I just get in the car and I go out and I drive it. And the sensation that I get by shifting and speed matching and the acceleration, the feeling that I get is just so enjoyable, inspirational. But there's a stigma out there that a person with one leg is not going to be able to drive a car like this with a prosthetic leg. Well, I've chosen to attempt that. And to be honest with you, I'd like you to check out some of the videos that we've shot using this car with me driving it, and you tell me if a person with one leg can or cannot drive a car. It's an amazing vehicle, and I'm still able to drive it. And if I can drive this car with this prosthetic leg, I think anybody should be able to do that. So don't let anybody tell you no. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something. Go out, do it, give it your best, and make your own decision, and find out what life's really about. It's amazing.
The broadcast journalism part of our showcase has come to an end, and with it, so is our time as your hosts.
We would like to introduce you to the next two hosts that will guide you through the rest of your evening. Please welcome from Winnie High School, Amanda Carlson and Frankie Wenson.
Thank you, Justin and Alina. I'm Amanda Carlson, and I'm so happy to be hosting this exciting event.
And I'm Frankie Wenson.
Okay, let's get right to it. It's time to start the film and animation portion of tonight's showcase.
The Northern California media educators wish to recognize students that work in all areas of video production. The next category is production portfolio.
The portfolio recognizes the pre-production work that goes into all of the films you see here tonight. We have only one winner in this category. And the best award for production portfolio goes to, from Franklin High School, Gianna Shibata Bardero.
Gianna completed her portfolio for the PSA entry in tonight's showcase.
Now let's get right to the winners for the PSA category.
The public service announcement, or PSA, should promote a positive social issue with the intent on creating change.
These films are 30 or 60 seconds in length. This was the most entered category, and we actually have 4 awards because of a tie for third place. Our first third-place winner in the PSA category is from Whitney High School, Justin Conti and Madison Preston.
I want to eat, but I won't.
I'm trying to fill this emptiness inside.
I need to make everything perfect.
I feel so alone.
Because I never reached out, people ignored me.
I was just afraid to talk about it.
People teased me and discriminated against me.
It seemed like no one was there for me.
I was trying to get away from my problems.
Every day was a challenge.
But I realized I didn't have to do it alone.
My friends and family were there to support me.
Mental illness is extremely common. 1 in 5 American youth live with a diagnosable mental health challenge. Support from friends and loved ones is the best way to overcome stigma and discrimination. If you are struggling with a mental health challenge, do not be afraid to talk about it. Come join the conversation and get support at www.reachouthere.com.
The second third-place winners in the PSA category are from Christian Brothers High School, Carly Coopwood, Mary Zaniti, and Sabrina Hunt.
Sex trafficking of children is a global and growing issue. This problem is widespread, and the ease of use and secrecy of the internet furthers the hidden nature of this crime. Police and government agencies report they have seen the phenomenon of child sex trafficking increase tenfold over the last 2 years. And sadly, there are few options when recovering underage sexually trafficked victims. The change has to start from the beginning.
And the second place winners in the PSA category are from Colfax High School, Adam Wilson.
The first place PSA is awarded to from Colfax High School, Jack Stanley.
Commercials are created to promote or advertise a real product, service, technology, or commodity. The third place award in the commercial category is from Whitney High School, Justin Conti and Madison Preston.
Do you want to be a star? Then head over to the Professional Voice. Professional Voice offers individual classes, group classes, open mics, and more. Please make an appointment with us to try our free first class every Saturday at noon.
Welcome to the Professional Voice.
The second place winners in the commercial category are from Whitney High School, Taylor Morgan, Farika Tan, Cameron Wilhelm, and Maya DeColgan.
Everyone has a bucket list, but who actually gets to check everything off? Some want to visit famous presidents, others want to see great monuments, and some people want to see it all, both domestic and internationally. The World of Chocolate Museum and Cafe combines great chocolate sculptures of famous monuments with international flavors of chocolate from countries like Ecuador, Italy, and a host of others. Come check one more thing off your list and visit the World of Chocolate Museum and Cafe. We're located at 11701 International Drive, Orlando, Florida.
And our first place winners in the commercial category are from Whitney High School, Michael Abshir and Noah Scott.
You are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Is your smile controlling your life? With 49 years of experience, the Galante team is dedicated to having the best service and care. Remember, change a smile, change a life.
The use of motion graphics in broadcast television is a skill that can highlight information and set the tone for the entire broadcast.
This category is a highlight reel of motion graphics created by an individual or team. The third place winner in this category is from Center High School, Vitaly Rudenki.
The second place winner in the motion graphics category is from Christian Brothers High School, Daniel Lee.
And the first place winner in the motion graphics category is from Whitney High School, Justin Conti and Madison Preston.
I know that it was kind of public services in general. I knew that was going to.
The 5-13, he sneaks through the line for an easy touchdown. Whitney won.
The next category in our showcase is the short story animation. The short story animation is a compelling story told in a fictional narrative. We have only one award in this category.
The first place in the short story animation goes to from Franklin High School, Katie Butler, Marissa Kong, and Gianna Shibata-Badero, and John Dennis.
Hey Tom, what's up?
Henry, I feel that I must cross this road.
Why?
Because it's my destiny. I must do this, and you are going to help me.
Looks kind of dangerous.
Oh, come on. How hard can it be? See? It's not so bad. Oh no! This is not over. Not again.
Tom, maybe you should take a break.
It's gotta be something I'm missing.
Tom.
It's gotta be something I overlooked.
Tom.
So close. If I can just figure out.
Tom!
What?
Maybe you should just give up.
How could you say that? I can't give up. I need to cross that road.
But don't you see? You don't need to cross the road. You already have everything you need right here. A good life, a loving family, and people who care about you. So what do you say? Friends?
I must cross the road! Yeah!
Don't ever change, buddy.
The next category is visual effects. This category asks students to create a collection of visual effects demonstrating their best work.
Our third place winners in this category are From Whitney High School, Nick Stiles and Matt Daisy.
I'm scared for this generation. Just keep walking.
Continuing in our visual effects category, our second place winners are from Franklin High School, Dumba Tahinse, Chris Lemond, and Kevin Norman. And the first place winners in the visual effects category is from Franklin High School, Joshua Hamilton.
Open fire! Hurry up!
Music videos use sound and visual effects to tell their story. This category required an original song or written copyright permission.
This category has 4 awards due to a tie for second place. The third place winners in the music video are from Whitney High School, Michael Absher, Noah Spahn, Sammy Valenz, and Christian Condos.
day and night, there ain't no other way. So I do all I can to make him stay, but you can't change the mind of a runaway. Why you always try to run away, darling, when you're gonna realize who you are can't be found by the pen and a map. It's in the hearts of the people who got your back, and all the laughter and memories you've shared. That's who you are. That's who you are, no matter where. Hold out a map, saying the farther the better. And I sure could go for some cooler weather. Just gotta leave it all behind. Don't want anybody I know by my side. No familiarity to use to hide, 'cause that's the only way to find. Why you always try to run away, darling, when you're gonna realize who you are can't be found by the pen and a map. It's in the hearts of the people who got your back, and all the laughter and memories you've shared. That's who you are. That's who you are, no matter where. They say that I can do anything. And they say that I can change the world. Well, you mean the world to me, and I can't seem to change a thing.
One of our second place winners in the music video category is from Franklin High School, Priya Patel, Jacqueline Hughes, Cherish Hardy, and Jordan McDougall.
I miss you within your arms. I never noticed it before, and I miss your sweet goodbyes and the way you saw me through your eyes. And I don't see how I could love anyone else. I never told you how much I care. I never told you how much I loved you, baby. We fit perfectly. Give me a chance. I know you're all I want. You're all I need. Oh, baby, believe me. Oh, give me a shot to give you the world, a chance for me to be your girl. And the sunsets fade and the nights grow cold. I get the nerve and pick up the phone, and he says, I never told you how much I cared. I never told you how much I loved you, baby. We fit perfectly. Give me a chance. I know you're all I want. You're all I need. Oh, baby, believe me.
And the other second place winners for the music video category are from Christian Brothers High School, Emma Bradford, Lucas Dudley, and Michael Enos.
And our first place winners for the music video category are from Franklin High School, Nick Talion, Alex Mercado, Dylan England, and Sam Balabat.
And this bad motherfucker right here, this my baby, man. It's off the hook. You like that, huh? Yeah, I do. Got them 20s on there. Them 20s, I just got them. Them ain't 20s, but it's off the hook. Them are 20s, man. Them, nah, they 10s. I bought them for somebody, but they nice, though. Yeah.
Still roll with the same clip. Just got a different main chick. Hit her line about 8 or 9. I don't go home till the clock says 6. On vacation with Jay's Lace to play a cards right. You could be my main trip, and she black and white and tap it right. She go drifting. You could be an 8-6, girl. This that all-star. Tim's in a sweatshirt, call me Earl Star. Got a baddie in the van with a camera in her hand. Better not catch your boy on World Star. Still screaming out FT World Bars. I'm at a kickback. You should come through. Got stress in, need a rap lesson. Is G-Easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you should try this. Looking at the time while I'm picking up a dime. Both gold, my touch is mine. This jogger's flannel, it's a blight knits. I'm looking fresh and about to hit the town. Now listen to me, but do I sound like I'ma pick you up and still put it down now?
I know you think I'm blind, baby, but I'm really working. I'm up all night in the studio, and I'll be home soon. Ain't no bitches here, just the homies, baby. Yeah, right.
Tell me, have you seen this girl? She bad. Asking everybody where she at, she like my twin. Should've known that she'd be posted up and me back. So I found her, and we sat, and I showed her 2 or 3 stacks. Then she looked at them, back at me, said you ain't gotta drop Rex to see Rex. Well, alright, cool. So where we at now? While them other dudes fade in the background, at a sack town, got a background, playing these fools like shit. I may hit them, I put them back down, they be like, hey, speaking of black crafts, tell me how this brand new track sounds. I'll be like, how you do that, man? I'm sounding too like me to Chad Brown. Just know that my crew back, caught up on IG with a new thing. Don't last forever, but it's Wu-Tang. Cause you tell me it's mine like a new brand. She wanna kick it, Luke King, but I don't wanna be tied up like a shoestring. Just know that she's sideline on my mind, so why you asking where you rank?
Our next category is movie trailer. This trailer must have original footage and promote a fictional movie. This is an example of editing and perceived storytelling.
The third place winner in the movie trailer category is from Sheldon High School, Alexandria Clark.
And the second place winners in the movie trailer category are from Whitney High School, Michael Abshir, Noah Spahn, Kylie Johnsrud, and Vanessa Bizzuto.
Your life belongs to you. The universe will offer you chances. Know them. Appreciate each moment. You can't beat death, but you can conquer it in life. Celebrate, forgive, and live spontaneously.
And the first place winners in the movie trailer category are from Christian Brothers High School, Reed Kiefer, Jacob Rohair, Braden Pond, and Ryan Perez.
Who are you? Where are you from? You know, here you don't have the right to remain silent, because nobody knows you exist. I could kill you right now. Nobody would even know. Good choice.
Citizens of the United States of America, we are settling the case regarding Waldo. Everything that can be done will be done. Rest be assured, we are safe.
President, Waldo is threatening nuclear war on our country. We need to evacuate you immediately.
This is SEAL Team 6, Spartan 300. We're on full pursuit for Waldo. Last seen in Washington Square. Code Black.
Damn it! Why can't we find him?
I spotted him.
You're under arrest on behalf of the United States government.
Did you hear that?
Waldo!
President, we need to evacuate immediately. Waldo's been spotted within 1 click of the White House.
Where is he? I always preferred silence.
And we have arrived at the final category of the night. The short story live-action film is a difficult format. These filmmakers must tell compelling stories in less than 5 minutes.
The third place winners in the short story category are from Pleasant Grove High School, Taylor Moore, Courtney Bond, Kevin McGovern, and Karen Candelaria.
Hello, Miss Amanda Hugginkiss?
Hugginkiss.
Oh.
Hi.
So, what brings you into the counselor's office today?
It happened again.
What happened again?
I blacked out on the field, and I woke up and I don't know how I got there.
So, no recollection of anything?
No. But when I got up, I saw it.
Saw
I saw that person in the purple raincoat who's been following me for weeks.
Are you sure someone's been following you?
Yeah, everywhere I turn, I see that guy in the purple raincoat, and I know that he's out to get me.
So like, what incidences have you seen this?
Besides this morning, the third period, I had just gotten my essay back for English class. We had written this Freudian analysis on Hamlet. I did a dynamite job. But when I got my paper back, my 3 pages of essays was just X's and O's. My paper had been erased.
With X and O's?
X's and O's, hug and kiss, I guess. I don't know, people like to tease me. It's Hugenkiss, it's German.
Is there any other moment in time where this has happened?
Well, after I got my paper back, I looked behind me and I saw the purple coat draped on a chair. Hello? Does that say anything to you? He's following me.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're not just imagining this?
What, you think I would make up a story? I mean, these grades are my life. I worked so hard on that essay. I deserve to get a good grade. Somebody's out to get me, I know
Sounds like you're having the worst day ever. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. This is pretty typical with students, feeling a lot of stress. Finals are right now. I think you should just get some more sleep.
Sleep. Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Anytime. Okay?
What?
In the short story category, the second place award is presented to from Whitney High School, Michael Abshir, Noah Spahn, Madison Preston, and Justin Conti.
we have arrived at our last award of the night, First Place Short Story Award.
Before we announce the award, let's take a moment to congratulate all of the students who submitted their films into this festival. The work we've seen on this stage tonight is inspiring and proof that Northern California has a thriving community of teachers, programs, and students who produce quality work.
We would like to take this opportunity to recognize all of the wonderful teachers that make up the Northern California Media Educators. Tonight would not have been possible without all of you.
Special thanks to Gary Martin and Access Sacramento for live broadcasting tonight's ceremony, and to the Center High School film crew.
Also, John Lester and San Juan High School for the use of this beautiful theater to showcase these award-winning works.
Okay, Frankie, I think that's it. You can announce the award.
Are you sure? All right, here we go. The first place winner in the short story goes to, from Christian Brothers High School, Lucas Dudley, Emma Bradford, Jenner Chapman, and Andrew McGee.
Next is the eyebrow. Then the yeah.
Yeah, I ate a taquito with weed in it on accident over the weekend.
Hmm? Yeah, we haven't like.
That's what.
Yeah, we haven't like.
That's what.
Let's make this, dude.
Thank you all for celebrating with these wonderful broadcast journalists and filmmakers, and we hope to see you all next year for the 2nd annual NCME Awards Showcase. From Justin, Alina, Frankie, and I, thank you and good night.